Hello everybody, Kyle here. I have to apologize first for my lack of consistency with my videos of late because there's just been so many shows that have been on between She-Hulk, Andor, House of the Dragon, Rings of Power, along with the films that have been being released, that it's been kind of hard to put out videos in a timely fashion. So kind of like what I've done with some of my others, I will be posting season reviews for some of these shows because a lot of them are going to end pretty shortly. I did want to get my reviews done for House of the Dragon though, because I didn't even realize this. I forgot to do a review for episode 7 of House of the Dragon about a week ago. So this is going to be both a review for episode 7 and a review for episode 8 of House of the Dragon. Both episodes I very much enjoyed. They are doing the unthinkable with this series by giving us a prequel to Game of Thrones, which is arguably one of the best shows ever on television, and we have a prequel show in House of the Dragon that is just as good. And I am just flabbergasted with how much we, as the audience who's watching House of the Dragon, love these new characters. And we've only gotten 8 episodes with them. So that is something that every episode I am just struck by. Episode 7 was the episode where I think we really got to see even more of the fractured relationship between Alicent and Rhaenyra and their children, and how their own, conflict has now moved on to the kids. And I really loved that we got to see this unbelievably tense sequence between Alicent and Rhaenyra, as Alicent wanted the eye of Lucerys Velaryon, who took the eye of her son Aemond. And it was a incredibly tense and almost scary scene because Alicent has power, but at the same time you see that it is truly the king who has the most. And even though the king is in such a poor state, he's still saying, enough of this. This is something that we have to put away. Forget about what happened. Let bygones be bygones. And I feel for both of these characters because at the same time you see that Alicent does care about her child and feels like a lot of her problems are a result of Rhaenyra's actions, not even seeing how a lot of her problems are also the result of her father's manipulations. And then you see King Viserys, who's just trying to bring the realm together, not to cause further division. And there are so many forces at play in this scenario. But then you have this beautiful funeral sequence for Laena, and it's like this really is something that is quite sad, but at the same time, when it comes to the logistics of this series, it's just one tragedy after the other, because I think it was brilliant to show the funeral of Laena Velaryon at the beginning of episode 7, and at the very end to see the quote-unquote death of her brother Laenor. And to the parents, Corlys and Rhaenys, they think both of their children are dead. But then we see that Rhaenyra plans and Daemon plan to save, not necessarily save, but pretty much save Laenor from his family and from even the homophobia of the realm, and to really give him a free life to live, not burdened by the perils of his own family conflict. And in that moment, you realize, like, Rhaenyra is truly a good person. Of course, she might you know, um, not be, faithful to the realm in terms of who she beds and who she, you know, whose child she sires, but she's only human. And I think that her giving her husband a way out of this um, conflict is way more than what Allison has been able to do, because Allison has just been stuck following the rules and not breaking the rules. And I do like how in episode 7, Damon really, you see a little bit more of the Damon that we knew from the earlier episodes, not the episode before where he was a bit more tame and more laid back. He has a little bit more um, mischief to him, and that is something that I really, really love seeing in Damon. But yeah, like episode 7 was a great episode, and then we get to episode 8, and I think the beginning of episode 8, I was a little unsure of how I would feel about it, because I was like, is this going to be a slow episode? But by the time they get to the court, and by the time they start talking about the rights of Rhaenyra's sons, that is when it really cemented itself as an incredible episode of television. And that's just what House of the Dragon does. Every episode is worth it. There isn't a single filler episode. There isn't a single episode of House of the Dragon that doesn't surprise you or keep you interested. Every episode is outstanding television. And in episode 8, where the king is essentially in a hospice, and it's like a hospice episode, as I think Emma Darcy put it, you really, really, you feel the burden of the throne on him, and how weak he is and how much he has had to deal with. And I tell you, when he gets up and walks into the throne room to help his daughter out, that is one of the best moments of television I've seen this year. You see that this whole entire show, since episode 1, he has somehow tried to find a way to connect with his daughter, but he couldn't, and he never could really, see her as more than just the son he never had. And he just was never there for her, especially in the first episode. And his wife dies, and then he decides, in the wife's honor, to make it up to Rhaenyra and focus his life on her and make sure that she is the heir to the throne. And then he kind of fell back where he couldn't be there for his daughter. He got sick and he's dying, but in his last, almost dying breath, he decides to go and be there for his daughter when she needs him the most. And you see the look on Emma's face, you see the look on Olivia as Alicent's face. Like, these are characters that we've come to know for the last weeks, and even for Viserys the last month, and we really, really just are connected to these people. And to see Viserys truly, be the dad of the year, that, brought a lot of feelings out of, I think, everyone watching. But the other defining moment of the episode is when he drops his crown and Daemon picks it up for him. And it's showing you that Daemon loves his brother. He is there for his brother. And the realm might be against Viserys at times. There are times when the people that he's sitting with, even his own wife, might be against him and what he's saying. But Daemon is his brother, and he, at the end of the day, will be his brother. And just the humanness of it all, just the fact that this isn't like cartoon characters we're watching. These are actual human beings. And such a beautiful moment. And the fact that it wasn't even scripted, and this was just what the actors were doing for each other, is even more, I think, meaningful. But yeah, and then the episode has this tense sequence at the dinner table, and it started with a really nice moment of like them forgiving each other. And I think that, so perfectly written and directed. And then when you see it come to blows and you see the characters starting to fight against each other, the kids, especially with Eamon, who is a fabulous actor, it just gets so tense, and you're like, oh my god, because it's kind of like, as you saw in the first the episode 7, you saw Rhaenyra and Alicent at each other's throats. Now you're seeing the children at each other's throats, and that's just gonna make way for even more issues, especially when it ends where Alicent misunderstands the king and thinks he's talking about her son. So now we're gonna have a whole issue there. But yeah, like, it's just a well-written series. I think that it is a testament to how great the showrunners are, both Miguel Sapochnik and Ryan J. Condal. And even though they change directors every week or almost every week, they really maintain a consistency with the way the show looks, the way the characters act, and I really love that. I am very curious to see where the next season goes, because George R. R. Martin just announced that he hopes they do 4 seasons, so that gives them a little bit more time to play with these characters. But yeah, like, let me know, did you watch House of the Dragon? Are you caught up? What did you think of these last couple episodes? Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day, guys. Bye.